Hello everybody! Today we're talking about something that's more clinical. It's going to be about joints and joint supplements on the market. There are so many types of different joint supplements on the market, and this video is just meant to be a summary of a study that I've read about different types of joint supplements. So stay tuned if you want to know what joint supplement to give your cat and dog. So I'm aware that there are many types of different joint supplements in the market, and I have recently read a study for this video on a review of dietary supplements for the management of osteoarthritis in dogs. So unfortunately this video is going to be more about dogs than cats. If you want to see a cat one, just leave a comment down below and I can do one for you. So this review is actually written between 2004 and 2014. So I think we should go over why dogs get osteoarthritis in the first place. Some dogs might get them young because of things like hip dysplasia or elbow dysplasia, where they have basically a malformed joint that keeps rubbing against each other because it's not formed very well, it's not form fitting, so it keeps rubbing against the other joint surface, and that creates bony changes within the joint, which then causes pain and then causes osteoarthritis. So some dogs get them young, which is a little bit sad, but some dogs get these changes when they're old. So kind of like, you know, your grandma or your granddad who has hip problems or like stiff joints, that's kind of the same thing. It's just a degeneration of the collagen in the joint space, which means less cushioning, which means more rubbing and painful. So some people give supplements to dogs that already have these problems, and some people give them actually before they even develop these problems to hope to not get the problems. But as you see later, this study is actually just about dogs that are given these supplements when they do have the problem already. So the first substance I'm going to talk about is chondroitin sulfate and glucosamine. Glucosamine is a very widely used product. Everybody knows about glucosamine. If your dog has joint disease, you probably know about glucosamine. In this study, it definitely states that glucosamine has properties of decreasing pain score, and it is assumed that this has no adverse effect to the dog, so you can kind of give it, it's a supplement, right? Like, it's not a medication, so there are no long-term adverse effects to the dog. So some products that contain glucosamine are Move, which is a very popular product. The other product is Mobility, that also has glucosamine in it. And if you just walk around the pet shop, you'll see a lot of supplements that have glucosamine in it. Bear in mind, the absorption of glucosamine is actually quite low, so it's only a 12% absorption. But it still means that they're getting it. It's just, you know, whatever the label claims, it's not 100% absorbed. Next thing I'm going to talk about, which was in the study, is Avocado Soybean Unsponifiable. What a weird name. To shorten, it's ASU. And in one of the studies, they actually induced osteoarthritis in a lot of dogs, which I think is pretty inhumane, and then gave them this ASU, and they did find that there was improvement, but again they concluded that because this osteoarthritis is induced, that it might not be the same as what dogs get in real life. There's not as much information about ASU as there is about glucosamine. One of the products that you can get is called Curcumin, but this product is a veterinary prescribed product, so you probably won't be able to get it on the shop floor. That's something to take into consideration, that it might be more expensive because your vet has to prescribe it. The third substance that I'm going to talk about is called Curcumin. So apparently it's something in turmeric, and we know the big fad about turmeric being an anti-inflammatory. The only thing about this substance is that it actually has a very low bioavailability. In more easily understandable terms, it's actually really hard for the dog to absorb in the gut, so it might just be passing through the gut, coming out as feces rather than being absorbed. And there's very little evidence to show that curcumin is of any kind of value, because in a study they said that they didn't find any difference between dogs that were receiving curcumin and the ones that weren't receiving curcumin. So I'd be a bit skeptical about this substance. And a side note about curcumin is that they actually found that given with a substance called Polysorbate, sorbate, it actually induces hypersensitivity, which is like an allergic reaction. So I would refrain from giving it with Polysorbate. I don't know why you would, I don't know what circumstance they would put it in the same. Maybe for humans they give Polysorbate with curcumin, but basically common sense is that if the pill is for humans, don't give it to your dog. And the next substance I'm going to talk about is polysaturated fatty acids, which everybody knows as omega-3 and omega-6. And omega-3 is very good for inflammatory purposes. It's found in fish oils and flax seeds and all the superfoods that we all love, whereas omega-6 is more commonly found in soybeans and corn. Omega-3 is a good one and omega-6 is not the good one. And they actually found that omega-3 slowed the progression of osteoarthritis. So this is a good thing. And one of the last ones that are quite popular and sounds really funny is green-lipped mussel. It's shortened to GLM and it's actually found in New Zealand. It's not palatable, so they don't like to eat it, but 2 studies found that they actually really improved the osteoarthritis. So that's something to keep in mind. And I think there are products that include that anyway. So if you see green-lipped mussel, don't be weirded out, it actually does help. Lastly, I'm going to talk about 2 substances that apparently have no impact whatsoever. Dietary beta-1,3, I'm reading it off my notes because it's too long. Dietary beta-1,3, 1,6 glucans. So apparently it's found in baker's yeast, and there was no significant difference between the dogs that had it and the dogs that didn't. And Boswellia resin also didn't find an improvement. One thing I'm going to say is that if your dog has osteoarthritis, or if you're worried about your dog having osteoarthritis, one of the biggest things that you have to do is get your dog to lose weight. Because if you think about it, if you're overweight and you're standing on really painful joints, that's just going to hurt even more. So weight loss is actually one of the best ways to control your dog's pain if your dog has osteoarthritis. And the other thing that's already been proven in all studies is obviously pain relief, carprofen, or any kind of anti-inflammatory that your vet prescribes you is going to help with the pain and the inflammation. The stuff that I was talking about in the study, they're just kind of supplements, so they're not medications. You can buy them on the shop floor. Obviously, whatever your vet gives you, that's the anti-inflammatory, that should definitely, your dog should definitely have that, but the supplement should go alongside it, if that makes sense. So if you're going to get a pill with glucosamine and omega-3 and green-lipped mussel, then that should go alongside your pain medication, your anti-inflammatories, and also the weight loss. The weight loss is key to this. Before you add any supplements, you should talk to your vet and see what they say, because it might be that your dog has some other issues that it needs dealing with before the supplements. The easiest supplement to get on the shop floor are probably going to be your glucosamine, your omega-3, and your green-lipped mussel. I think the soybean one, avocado soybean one, is harder to get because it's prescribed, and the turmeric is actually kind of not sure if it works because the study showed no difference. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give me a thumbs up and subscribe below, and also check out my Instagram for daily vet tips for your pet. Thanks for watching. Bye.